Hello and welcome everyone. In this video I want to quickly go over the most important aspects of the new league regarding minion builds. Affliction adds an underground area that can be explored until a certain distance is traveled. You can kill enemies and collect wisps while doing so, which can be exchanged with vendors in the overgrown passageways for specific items. These wisps also randomly affect enemies in the map via increased rarity, quantity, and currency drops, while making them deal more damage, which is similar to how sentinels worked. You can also buy unique, powerful specters that cannot be desecrated, and seem to be an interesting high-budget option for pure specter builds. There are also 3 new Ascendancies to choose from that can be unlocked via clearing overgrown passageways, which can be allocated in addition to your existing one and grant access to curses, for example, one that causes minions to degen until they explode, passives, and items like tinctures instead of flasks, with a multitude of modifiers, or charms with 2 lesser versions of Ascendancy notables. In addition to that, Ultimatum is making its comeback, while Metamorph has been removed from the game entirely. Ultimatum nodes have replaced the Metamorph nodes on the Atlas passive tree, catalysts can now drop from Ultimatum encounters, and the Metamorph stash tab has been transformed into an Ultimatum stash tab, holding both catalysts and inscribed ultimatums. Affliction also completely overhauls the skill gem system. Alternate quality gems and lab enchants on helmets have been removed entirely, and are replaced by transfigured gems, whereas threshold jewels have been changed to grant new modifiers. In general, quality now provides stronger effects than it used to. Absolution, Dominating Blow, and Herald of Purity now have increased cooldown recovery from quality. The AG now has more life and damage instead of the increased modifiers, giving it more base life and making it scale better with investment. Animate Weapon now gets 0 to 2 maximum weapons from quality. Blink Arrow and Mirror Arrow now only have a single scaling damage modifier per level, whereas the other mods have been moved to the base minion and the quality, which means that the clones now have more life and damage. Offering effects now have 0 to 10% increased buff effect from quality. Specters now get elemental resistance instead of movement speed from quality. Zombies now have 0 to 38% more life instead of increased area of effect and cooldown recovery. Quality provides 0 to 2 maximum number of zombies instead of increased life, and the slam has been removed entirely. Golems no longer have 0 to 38% increased minion life, but instead get 15 to 20% more life inherently, and 0 to 20% buff effect from quality. Transfigured golem gems have plus maximum number of golems, presumably 0 to 1. The Holy Relic now gets 0 to 40% increased buff effect from quality. The more damage mod on SRS was moved to the base attack, which means that added damage is now worse, and the quality now provides 0 to 30% chance to summon an additional spirit. The Reaper has 25% more life inherently, but lost the increased life from gem scaling. The quality now gives 0 to 20% chance to inflict bleeding, which means that the overall survivability is a bit better, and the build is less dependent on bleed chance on minions from Ghastlier jewels. Summoned skeletons provide 0 to 1 maximum number of summoned skeletons instead of the increased minion damage from quality. Lots of new uniques were added, where some old uniques were changed. For example, Replica Covenant grants level 29 added cold damage to socketed gems with 200% additional energy shield cost based off base mana cost. Ashes of the Stars no longer provides 10 to 20% increased reservation efficiency of skills to account for quality being more valuable in general. The Replica Dragonfang's flight has been nerfed by 5% across the board. The replica bones of Ulir unique boots now cause Summon Phantasms and Raging Spirits to have a 10% chance to refresh their duration when they hit a unique or rare enemy. This might also affect the Delve modifier on gloves, but there hasn't been any confirmation on that just yet. The Enema Stone unique jewel no longer grants +1 maximum number of summoned golems because the mod was moved to the quality of the transfigured gems. Dead Reckoning now causes skeletons to gain added chaos damage equal to 20 to 30% of maximum energy shield on your equipped shield. The ability to summon skeleton mages and skeleton archer has also most likely been moved to transfigured gems. These changes should lead to significant change in the minion meta. For example, Poison SRS took a hard hit. In general, SRS seems worse damage-wise, although keeping up the maximum number of spirits should now be a bit easier. Cold Conversion and Elemental minions could heavily profit from being socketed into Replica Covenant, and golems might get up to 2 maximum golems from transfigured gems in combination with Ashes of the Stars. The removal of reservation efficiency from Ashes also represents a problem, especially at the high end where said efficiency is needed to fit the various auras high-end minion builds need to scale their damage. Zombies are much more survivable now and get plus maximum number of zombies from quality, but the removal of the slam forces Charon Golem Zombie and pure zombie builds into melee splash for mapping. However, I believe there is still a chance that zombies with the slam will be available on a transfigured gem. In general, the power of a variety of different minion builds heavily depend on transfigured gems. For example, the viability of ranged animate weapon heavily depends on the type of weapons the Val version of the transfigured gem summons. Last but not least, there are the unique specters that can be bought for wisps. Expensive ones like the Hydra could turn out to be extremely powerful, but the developers mentioned that they are squishy. Whether they can be made survivable with plus levels and potentially Legion jewels remains to be seen. Either way, this league seems like an absolute blast in terms of minion changes and their new league mechanics. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can leave them in the comments below. I try to get to them as soon as I can. And I will of course publish a compilation of minion league starters once we know more about the transfigured minion gems. If you want to connect with me and my community, you can find my socials including Twitch and my Discord in the description of this video and on my channel page. Hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.